Prof.Ngezem Eugene, the second batch of Fontem Student Association, appeared on GASA Media by introducing himself with his rich professional and career biography. He also said all grammar school students must identify their batch and come on board, while recommending the batch-by-batch approach presented by the national president, Dr. Fontem. Prof.Ngezem also said this is the right moment to pull the resources together while waiting for the political instability or the crisis to be over. That it would be a wrong idea to wait for the crisis to be over before we think of what to do with our alma mater. This is Ernest Kumba, the GASA Media Director.
As the media house, it is our duty to bring to you information that will foster the organization. As you must have seen previously, other batches of Fontem students are galvanizing themselves and coming together to see what they can do to foster the organization. Today, one of us, an student by name Prof.Ngezem, is joining me today at the GASA Media to air out what he thinks could be done to foster the development in that direction. Professor Eugene, you are welcome to GASA Media.
Thank you, Mr. Ernest. Thank you so much.
Yes, okay. Yeah, my first question would be I would first of all like you to briefly introduce yourself to the audience. Those that are seeing you for the first time, some people may not have seen you, maybe people may not know you, especially when you left. That was a long time ago. I would just like you to briefly explain or to tell us who you are.
Thank you so much. It is a wonderful opportunity to participate in GASA Media. First of all, congratulations upon such a major achievement, so that we can disseminate information across the board, thus galvanizing all ex-students of GSS Fontem to come together under one canopy and speak in one voice. In light of my upbringing, maybe my academic journey, my professional journey, my community service, etc., I'll be very laconic. First, I was born in Mogbi village, or Fontem as it's called now, and there's in a law subdivision and Lebialem division. And born to a polygamous family as is a common practice in our area, but I was one of the lucky ones to be sent to school. And my very first school, or say secondary school, was GSS Fontem then. And in terms of education, I achieved so much from this school. I learned so much in the area of science and arts, as we used to call them, just these two spheres, but also in terms of moral probity. And after GSS Fontem, I passed through Kasbambeli, from Kasbambeli to University of Yaoundé One, and later on traveled to the US to study. Thus, in terms of my achievement with respect to this academic journey, I hold a bachelor's degree in English, a master's degree in English literature, and a PhD degree in English literature. With respect to my professional life, some of you of my batch will remember you used to call me Professor Ngezem when I was still in junior high, as they call it in the US. When I was still in secondary school, I didn't know one day I'll be a professor. But when I had my PhD, I started teaching. Even before my PhD, I was teaching. So I've taught in college or in university for more than 20 years. And I've evolved from a teaching assistant, or what I used to call monitor, to a lecturer, from a lecturer to a senior lecturer, from senior lecturer to assistant professor, from assistant professor to associate professor, or what's called in Cameroon, maître de conférence. I'm currently a full professor. That means I've hit the limit. I can't have anything beyond this. I mean, professionally speaking, I've taught in several institutions around the world. I've taught in the University of Yaoundé One, Higher Teachers Training College. I've taught in India, the Mumbai System University. And I've also taught at Shippensburg University in Pennsylvania, Murray State University in Kentucky. I'm currently teaching at Clayton State University in Georgia. And I've published dozens of articles. I've participated in international conferences, national conferences. I'm editor for many peer-reviewed journals. And besides that, in terms of community service, I've been the leader of the BLM people here in the US for 6 years. that's CEO of Legda USA. And one of the hallmark was to institute Legda Life, which is currently saving the community. So in terms of hobbies, I love soccer. I play soccer, but at the same time, I'm also a certified coach, certified by the U.S. Soccer Association. I coach 19 boys. So that is a very laconic way, even though it may sound long, of who this Professor Ngezem is. Thank you so much.
Prof.Ngezem, when you were talking, I was just admiring you, like your profile from when you were born in Mongbin to grammar school, then college, then you went to university. All this achievement until when you say you already hit what they say the terminal degree, where you can go further. You know, yes. Yeah. So now my next question I would just want to ask you basic question like, how do you hear about GASA 8990? And if I may further ask you, which batch were you?
With respect to my batch, I'm of the second batch of GSS Fontem. We are of the second batch. And in terms of how I knew about GASA Media, it was through Dr. Bella Kembela. He's the one who mentioned that to me. I didn't even know about that. And I once complimented some of the things I observed. So that's how I knew about GASA Media. GASA Media has become something unique, and nobody can talk it down. It's a great milestone so far.
Okay, yeah, thank you for that compliment as well. You know, yeah, we are of the 9 batch. You are of the second. We are of the 9 batch. So we are like maybe a generation behind you. So yes, moving forward. Yes, the General President, Dr. Fontem, here he appeared on GASA Media and launched the operation batch by batch to foster the entire alumni. In your opinion, what the message do you have for other students that have not joined or that are still maybe on the fringes, that are still thinking to join?
Let me term it as a family reunion. This is a family reunion coming together as students of that prestigious school. It is a wonderful thing for each and every member to join this group. I was surprised because while I was driving to my office, because I'm not very far from my office to do this interview, I realized that my badge just created its own group. And my name popped up. I said, wait a minute, who has started this? And I realized that some of my peers have created a group for the second batch. And we are copying you. It is because of what you've done. So my message to those who are out there is to come together, join various batches. You can initiate. You don't have to wait for some superstar to do it. One person can start something. For example, look at what GASA Media has done. I believe this was an idea of an individual or a few people. It has become a household thing now. So I urge everyone out there to do, because we need this. We need to come together as one family to achieve many goals. For instance, we need to build the national umbrella of grammar school students. I mean, one group, but we cannot achieve that without using this methodology of batch by batch approach. It's a very effective approach, because grammar school student association in the US has been struggling. That's a fair assessment, has been struggling. But given this new momentum, this impetus, I believe things are going to be different. For example, through this, we may be able to have things like database. We may be able to have regular and vibrant annual or biannual, whatever thing we want to do, to come together so that we can brainstorm on different things that will benefit our young ones back home and maybe fortify our own forbearance out here. We need also to have a trademark that is that of GSS Fontem, so that people can say and say, yes, I know this. And of course, we have to think of scholarships and many other things that we need to do. I list some of these things just randomly so that those who are hesitant, those who have not already joined, should know this is pregnant with meaning, and we need as much as possible in terms of human resources, come with ideas, come with whatever ideas you have so that we can be one strong group.
Yes, thank you so much. I know here GASA 8990 batch has GASA University, a platform where we meet to chat, we do presentation of different topics. I think you may be one of the most good resource person because you are a professor by profession, that you have taught in many institutions. We would like to invite you in our subsequent activities to come in there and maybe chat some of these things, some of these innovation ideas that you think can foster the development of GBHS Fontem Student Association. Yeah, now some people or some school of thought have said we should go on activity until the political instability gives a clear way. Some have said no, we should continue or we should be looking. In your own opinion, do you think we should maybe hold on until the political instability becomes normal before we begin to think of what to do to grammar school? Or do you think we should be doing something else? What is your thought?
It will be a colossal failure if we think that we can wait until things are normal before we start planning. We cannot do that. That would be a major, major mistake. We need to prepare as though our lives depend on this at this moment. We can't wait for crisis to come to an end before we start. So my advice is that let's prepare ourselves in a strong way. This should be the moment for us to evaluate what we need in terms of supporting that institution and start putting our resources together so that the moment the crisis have ended, we can therefore just hit the ground running instead of initiating things only at the end when the war is over, when the crises are over, and we go to the drawing board. No, that's not a way to solve the problem. So my suggestion is that let's use this opportunity that we are able to come together. And the unfortunate situation, namely the crisis back home, to think of what to do, use even the crisis as a springboard to see how it's affected our people, our students back home. This is the moment to start galvanizing. This is the moment to put our resources together. I said earlier, this is the moment to put our intellectual, material, and all sorts of things together so that we can continue to do what we have to do. If we don't do that, it will be too late for us to support our institution.
Yes, thank you, Professor Ngezem. We have probably come to the end of this interview. And dear viewers, as you have listened, that was Professor Eugene Ngezem. He's a professor by profession. He has taught English in many institutions. And he was also a community leader for GASA, for LEDA USA, that is the BLM Development Association, from 2015 to 2017, I think, when the organization was almost dying. So he has so much human resource that he would like to bring him on board to really help our organization, the Grammar School Student Association. As you have heard, he's an educator by profession, so he has so much that he can chip in terms of education. Professor, once more, we thank you for tuning in and for being with me this evening.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate this moment. And thank you for what you are doing.
It's my pleasure, sir. Yeah, have a blessed evening, and stay tuned to our YouTube channel. Please remember to subscribe and turn on the signal button so that any moment when we upload new information, you will be the first person to listen. Until then, you have a blessed evening.
Prof.Ngezem Eugene, the second branch of GBHS Fontem Student Association, appeared on GASA Media by introducing himself with his rich professional and career biography. He also said, all grammar school students must identify their batch and come on board, while recommending the batch-by-batch approach presented by the national president, Dr. Fontem. Professor Ngezem also said, this is the right moment to pull the resources together while waiting for the political instability or the crisis to be over. That it would be a wrong idea to wait for the crisis to be over before we think of what to do with our alma mater. This is Ernest Kumba, the GASA Media Director.